The Milky Way is the name of our galaxy, and no life form can truly comprehend the vastness in which space it lies. It is 100,000 light years across, compared to our closest galaxy, Andromeda, at 220,000 light years from tip to tip. In real life, it is estimated that there could be up to 1 million intelligent aliens in our Milky Way with their own languages and 10,000 civilizations like our own. Although no one can be sure, life is overwhelmingly likely in other places other than just Earth. In Halo, there are only a handful of alien species that have any depth, but surely there are some intelligent, organized civilizations within the galaxy or perhaps outside of the Milky Way in Halo. Halo's infamous story has already been told, one of a superhuman defeating an alien armada. So has the story of that very alien armada collapsing from within. Even the Flood, a parasite that would consume every living cell in the universe if only it had the chance, is a story inspired from the idea of zombies and the idea of mutation that is evidently to be complete at this point in Halo. With Cortana taking up the mantle of responsibility at the end of Halo 5, it does make many of us wonder what Halo 6 will introduce. Will there just be more waves of X-Covenant, Prometheans along with 1 or 2 new variations along with the Soldier, or will there be a return of the Flood? Halo, in many ways, has exhausted its current universe and lore. Even with the Banished, which is new to Halo Wars 2, isn't really that new. The Banished has familiar faces of the Brutes and other Covenant members that we've killed 1,000 times over. There's nothing really new about them except for culture, designs, history, morals, etc. In Halo 4, it was incredible to see a Forerunner such as the Liberian or the Didact, but even with that was still incredibly limiting. Simply said, Halo doesn't have many options to expand its lore in completely new, interesting ways, and basically can only rehash the old in different ways. I believe that it is time for us to see something completely new made from the ground up. Not the Flood, not the Covenant, nor split factions, nor the Foreigners. And the Foreigners, they'll never bring us complete curiosity again, because we've already encountered these factions and life forms in different ways. We need a new alien race to come into Halo, or perhaps a new alien armada altogether. Don't get me wrong, I love to see the return of the old factions, the Flood, alien races, but I want something new, I want something scary. And no, the Prometheans weren't scary, okay? So this topic begs, why would the new aliens even invade the Milky Way? There are tons of possibilities, but it could have something to do with the search for technology, wanting to become even more powerful themselves, investigation of the Halo rings for interest of destroying their own enemies and their own galaxy, or perhaps they have an interest in ruling the galaxy since the Foreigners are completely gone and they want to lead the mantle of responsibility. There could be a resource issue, or perhaps the aliens left their own galaxy because of their own resourceful ways and they need more resources, perhaps overpopulation, perhaps an internal issue, perhaps it's already a collapsed armada that is trying to escape, or perhaps attacking another one. There are many reasons why a new alien species would invade, but that's not exactly the problem. The problem is, why would they actually come into Halo itself, the franchise? As I discussed a few moments ago, I believe Halo needs something new, something refreshing, and isn't an extension of the current factions like the Banished branch from the Covenant and the Prometheans are a branch of the Forerunner civilization. A new civilization entirely would make fans excited because at one point, we'd all be equally clueless about what was going to happen next. Halo also needs a catalyst for something big and something scary. No one really felt threatened by Cortana, and at the end of Halo 5, no one's really convinced that Cortana would fire the Halo rings. Just doesn't make sense. Nor did they really fear for humanity with the Didact. The only two factions that actually scared many fans in playing the game was that of the Insane Prophets or that of the Flood, which on a couple occasions, even the Covenant and the UNSC in the lore, in the middle of war, became allies to fight the Flood. I'm not saying that the Flood should never return. I would love for the Flood to return, okay? But what a lot of people want is what the Flood had and not specifically the Flood itself. The Flood was scary. It had many variations among enemies, the sounds of them, the very presence of these mutations were haunting. A new alien force would also leave Cortana and her Guardians to an amazing potential in battles and fights and cinematics. Don't even get me started on that. So let me tell you guys a quick story real quick. You may have already heard this story, but let me just say it because it sums up what I'm trying to say here pretty much. So there was a man who committed a great crime against the kingdom, and when the man was sentenced to hang in front of the whole kingdom, he had a choice, and the king asked, "You can pick. Would you rather be hung, or would you rather walk through the dark door?" The criminal immediately said without any hesitation, "Hung." So as he was about to be hung, he said, "So what's behind the door?" And the king laughed. You know what's funny? I give everybody that choice. Freedom is behind the door, but people are too afraid of the unknown. The moral of the story is pretty simple, but it's basically this: the human mind and its fear of the unknown. That is a pretty large fear. The new alien species needs to have the unknown. They need to embody the unknown, something that scares the players and characters alike in Halo to their core. We know nothing about their goals, at first anyway. We know nothing about their objective, where they came from, why they're here, what they want, if they're hostile or not, if they're relatable or not, their culture, what they like or dislike, their technology, their weapons, style of fighting, vehicles, ships, what they do, how they do it, and why they don't do some things. Their technology could be so completely new, it could add an entirely new layer of the unknown on top of other layers of unknown. Perhaps a weapon can make living creatures go insane, eat each other, or a virus that would spread like wildfire that could be turned on and off at will. These are just some ideas that I had of what would be the unknownness and the fear that these aliens could provoke in the species in the Halo universe, and perhaps the players as well. So the conclusion of this video is this: the Milky Way in Halo is in a pretty tough spot. Great forces are now scattered, split up, and splintered. There is much unrest and much unease among the galaxy, even among the humans. Especially since Cortana has taken control of the Guardians and the mantle of responsibility, things have gone haywire and things are weird right now. There's no telling what direction 343 will take Halo 6 or the Halos afterwards, but I think there is true potential lying in bringing more of the universe as a whole into Halo's Milky Way. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I wrote this one and I'm very proud of it. If you want more of these videos, then be sure to let me know. I could talk much more about new aliens or species or new things coming to Halo 6. I had a lot of fun making and editing this, so be sure to let me know down in the comment section below if you want to see a part 2 or part 3. Anyways guys, like this video up if you ended up enjoying, share it to your friends that like Halo, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.